Hi everyone, Pocono Prepper here. Boy, it's a beautiful day today in the Pocono Mountains. But I wanted to do this video because I wanted to pass on some information that might be helpful to you. In a prior video I had mentioned that I had purchased this crock pot at an antique store. And I knew it was a good one to purchase because it made a nice ringing sound when you hit it. If it had a crack in it and it was not good, it would thud instead. So I came home, I scrubbed it well, washed it really good, even though there's still some staining from this being used, decades of use from somebody. I scrubbed it really well, and then I went out in the garden, picked my cucumbers, put my cucumbers in, and I did a brining experiment. Now this brining experiment I got from my Ball Blue book. And in it, it talks about how you brine, and it talks about how you mix up a 10% brine solution and what you need to look for and how to do it. And it talks about bubbling, and that's, how you should know. And put the cucumbers downstairs in my basement and started to brine it, and I even calculated out how much salt I had to add to it for each week. And all of a sudden I noticed 2 weeks in that I had this mold growing on the top, and I didn't know what the mold was, and I cleaned a little bit of mold off the first time, went down, and a few days later there was more mold, and I thought, oh, maybe I didn't clean the crock good enough, maybe because I was storing it in my basement where the temperature is more even, maybe something in the basement got in the water, maybe my brine solution wasn't good enough. I had all these ideas in my head. Well, anyway, I took the cucumbers and I threw the cucumbers out. And that really upset me. Well, I was watching a video from, I guess it might have been Cat's Cradle, I'm not sure, but she talked about Jackie Clay and how Jackie Clay was her go-to person. Well, I happen to think Cat's Cradle is a good go-to person for when it comes to certain things. And so if she liked Jackie Clay, I figured I would go check this person out. So I went to her website and checked around, signed up for her emails, and ordered her set of books. Now, as it turns out, these books are pretty good. Jackie Clay is not somebody that has 15 initials after her name. She doesn't work for the FDA. She is just a homesteader, and I don't say just a homesteader as though she has no value. I'm saying just a homesteader because she's not somebody that works for any government person that makes mandates. Instead, she's somebody that has years and years of experience and she knows what she's doing. So I bought these books and I started reading through these books. They are excellent, by the way. A little on the expensive side, but they are excellent. And since I love to read and I want a good library for things to help me down the road, I bought them. Well, I was reading in this book, and in this book, somebody wrote in about skimming off the mold, that she had a crock filled with cucumbers and the necessary vinegar, water, and spices. But she talks about the mold. And then I listened to her about skimming the mold off of it because you don't want the pickles to get a moldy taste. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's what I had, was mold on the top of mine. I didn't have to throw all my cucumbers away, but ignorance is a terrible thing. And so as I'm learning and finding out mistakes that I've made, I just want to pass them on to you. If you should be doing a brine experiment and you get a little bit of mold in your crock, just skim the mold off. If you have time, check out Jackie Clay's website. She really is very good. She's very knowledgeable. And I tend to trust homesteaders more than I do the FDA, because the FDA, who tries to protect you in all that they do by making all the rules for commercially grown, manufactured, and produced foods, they're the ones that are always making the recalls on the salmonella and all those other diseases that the E. coli tainted meats and everything else. And so if they're doing that great of a bang-up job, I don't know that I want them being the ones giving me all the advice for my canning and my home preparedness. So Jackie, I found to be pretty good. I'm enjoying every book that I have read so far. I've read 3 of them. I still have quite a bit more to go. But I hope you can take this and learn from it, and I hope you have a better experience than I do and don't throw stuff away. So as always, this is Pocono Prepper, and please have a good day.